Hello fellow RVers, this is Gary. Sometimes people may wonder, what does Rough Road RV Life people, me and Sharon, do when we're home based in our Central Florida home base? One thing that I do, Sharon's the hiker, but me, I like to fish. So in this instance, my son-in-law had called me up and said that he was going to be in Key West. If I wanted to come down and join him for a fishing charter down there for 6 days. So of course I said, sure. So an hour and a half drive to Tampa, an hour and 15-minute plane ride, and we were in Key West. I was in Key West. So I got to Key West about, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't have a lot of variety of planes. Mine had 2 propellers, but it was good enough to get me down there. 20 gallons of gas, I guess they put in it to get me down there. And that was okay, we made it. So we all met up down there, and then we went to stock up on some supplies, some groceries, get ready for our fishing trip the next day. And we went to a supermarket in Key West, Publix. They do have some supermarkets down there. It's not, of course, it's an island community, but they have Publix, Winn-Dixie, some other supermarkets. So after loading up on groceries and getting ready for our supplies for the next morning, we headed to our bungalow, which came with the charter. Now the charter group we used was called Southbound Sport Fishing. The captain, Rob, was a great captain. It's a 40-foot boat, and it was a 6-day package, vacation package. If you go to their website, they offer different vacation packages, but it's 3 days of fishing, and then of course every other day is a fishing day. Then the in-between days you can do your sightseeing around Key West. And the bungalow is part of the fishing package. There's a bathroom, 1 AC, 1 bed, ceiling fan, door, couch, table, microwave, coffee pot, toaster, beer, fridge, front door. Just one more thought about the bungalow. It has a double bed in there, and it has an air conditioner, 3 ceiling fans. It's very comfortable at night. It gets really cold in there with that. Even though it's 1 AC, you can almost hang meat in there. It gets really cold. But there was 4 of us, so we brought 2 twin-size air mattresses, the big thick kind. So we had the double bed, and then we had 2 air mattresses. Now you can use the couch for a bed also, but so that's what we did for our sleeping arrangements. It was very comfortable. In the morning we would get up and just lean our air mattresses up against the wall, and we had plenty of room in there for 4 guys, and the bathroom was great, plenty of hot water. So anyway, that's another bungalow thing. That was a great deal. Got ready for the next day and wrapped up our first evening there with the cutthroat game of Uno out on the table outside. And then the next morning we woke up 5:30 in the morning to get ready to go to meet the charter captain at 7, which is literally 5 minutes from the bungalow. So we all got up, had our croissants for breakfast, and went out for day 1 of fishing. Day 1 fishing, we headed out all ready to go, fired up, and we went day 1 we were doing some reef fishing. And we went out there and dropped down some lines and caught some yellowtail snapper, some grouper, and just a variety of fish for that day. It was 7 o'clock till 3. It's an 8-hour day on the boat. Like I said, it's a 40-foot boat, so it's a comfortable boat. It's a big boat. It's got, covers and all that. It's warm down in Key West. So we finished up day 1, got back to the loading dock. The first mate cleaned the fish for us, filleted them all out. We bagged them up, went back to the bungalow, and decided we were going to fry us up some fish that night with all the fixins. So we did all that, fried up our fish, all the fixins, and once again we ended our first fishing night with another cutthroat game of Uno. This is what people do when you're all alone, or 4 of us down there in Key West. with all the nightclub action and stuff that's all around us within walking distance, we play Uno. Anyway, so that's us. All right, day 2 now was sightseeing day. So we went, took our car, and well, it was a rental car, and paid our $28 to park for the day in one of the parking garages, because anywhere you park down there, whether it's in a garage or whether it's curbside, they have the pay meters there. So if you go to Key West, you're gonna have some parking fees. So we went down there and we got on the conch train, rode around on the conch train looking at all the stuff, drove by the southernmost point and took a quick picture, but we really wanted to go like stand by it, so we put that off for another day. And then we went to I think we went to the Treasure Museum, we went to the aquarium, and then we just did some riding around, and then we ate at some of the local restaurants there. Blue Heaven, I think we were at one of the days, and then there was another one, Hog's Breath. Anyway, so we did our day of sightseeing, and then we went back to the bungalow and prepared for the next day, fishing. Next day of fishing, we went out. A little windy this day now. It's a little rough out there. The captain said it's a little rough to go way far out in the Atlantic. But since he's he's been fishing down there his whole life. He lives in the Keys. He's a local Key Wester. He's an actual conch, what they call him, a conch. If you've been there, if you've lived there 7 years, they call you a freshwater conch. If you were born there and are actual, you're actually a conch. The Key West High School down there, the Key West Conchs. Day 2 of fishing, we went out. Like I said, it was rough, but the captain knows where to go. He took us to some reefs that were a little bit in the right direction from the wind and waves and all that, so we didn't get bounced around real bad. And we just loaded the boat full of, once again, yellowtails, white grunt, we caught grouper. The grouper was off season, and just a big variety of fish out there. And we had another great day of fishing, a lot of fish. Went back to the dock. Once again, first mate jumped on it, cleaned up all the fish, we bagged them all up. And this night we didn't fry fish, instead we went out to dinner that night. So after a really good meal, because there's lots of places down there to eat, and they're all within walking distance of this bungalow. You really don't have to drive if you don't want to. We weren't really sure what we were doing, but I can tell you now, in retrospect, you could probably walk to a lot of places right from the bungalow, because it's actually kind of right downtown Key West. Okay, so after our second day of fishing, we come into another day of touristy stuff, which we also had designated our shopping day, you might say. So we went back downtown to the Key West, and instead of this time getting on the conch train, we went ahead and rode the trolleys. The trolley actually has like 12 different stops that you can get off and on the trolley as it winds its way around through Key West. So that's another good way to see Key West. If you want to do on and offs of the trolley, you just get on the trolley. The conch train only stops, I think, at like 3 or 4 places, but the trolley stops at 12. So we did the trolley thing, got on and off, got all our shopping done. We had a lunch at Hog's Breath Saloon, which was great. And then once we finished all of our shopping, and we got back to the car, and then we went back to the bungalow with some more, sat around the table outside. We did some grilling, some steaks, and played some more Uno, had some mixed drinks, adult beverages, whatever. When in the Keys, you got to do like the Key Westers do. After that night, was back into the boat again that next morning, ready to go. Packed our sandwiches up, got all of our beverages together for the day ride. The wind had laid down, and we were headed out. So it's got twin diesels in this boat, and they just hummed us on out to the Atlantic. And we set out the trolling rods, or we didn't. The first mate set out the trolling rods, and then it was game on. In just a short time, we landed 2 really nice sized wahoo. We caught some nice sized barracudas, had fun with some bonitas and tuna, and it was just a great day out there trolling. And if you've never caught a wahoo before, they call it the freight train of the ocean, because when it hits, the reel just smokes the line coming off of it. They're really probably one of the best eating fish that you'll ever eat. If you've ever had wahoo or see it offered at a restaurant menu, you should give it a try. It is a fantastic fish. So we had a great day out there of trolling around, and we got back in and we got all of our stuff filleted and bagged up, and shook hands with the captain, the first mate. Did a great job for us for those 3 fishing days, and he's very attentive to any needs, because he actually owns the bungalow. So if there's anything that you need at the bungalow, he takes care of it, and is very accommodating, and you will not have any issues or problems with this boat captain or this bungalow. It's just fantastic people. So then the next day, it's time to head back to the airport. Checkout time at the bungalow is 10. So we all packed all of our stuff up. You're allowed to carry, if you want to transport fish back on a airline, you can do it. You're allowed 5 pounds of dry ice per person on the airlines. So you can pack your fish in a cooler with dry ice. And my son-in-law, they were headed all the way back to Pittsburgh from Key West. They had no issues with their fish staying good. Of course, I was an hour and 15 minutes back to the airport, then another hour and a half drive back to Central Florida, Ocala, where I'm at. So that all went good. The only hiccup I had in this whole thing was unfortunately a 7:20 departure at night from the Key West airport, and they do have a little restaurant there that closes at 4. Doesn't do me any good, and I was supposed to leave at 7:20, and guess what? I got the old delayed sign up on my thing, and it delayed and it delayed and it delayed, and I was starting to get a little concerned that that canceled sign might come up. I heard that the plane hasn't even left Orlando yet, and I actually had a pickup service supposed to meet me at Tampa, and I was wondering if they were going to wait this long for me to get there, and had visions of having to call my wife to have her make that hour and a half drive to get me at dark 30 at night. So finally, we got off the runway at about 9:30 that night, which put me getting back into Tampa at about 10:30, something like that. So I did make it home by midnight, but that was the only hiccup that I had the whole trip, was the airline flight back to Ocala. So we had a great time down there. As far as campgrounds go in Key West, there's one I know of called Boyd's Campground. It's down there. It's on the, I believe it's on the Gulf side. You can check their website though. They do have a website, and you can check their prices. I'm going to say I think $150 to $200 a night. It's rather kind of pricey down there in the Keys. Everything down in the Keys you'll find a little on the pricey side, but it's a wonderful city to visit. It's got all kind of stuff going on down there. Roadside people down there playing music, guitar players. Just walking by, it's like a 24-hour little party town, but there's lots of nice, cool shops down there with all kind of stuff in it. We even tried key lime pie covered in chocolate on a stick. And if you've never had key lime pie, the real stuff, it's pretty good stuff. So the food down there is all good, no matter which restaurant we ate at. It was all just great food. Like I said, a little bit on the pricey side, but not way over the top, you know. So, but it's a great place to go and visit. And we did finally get to the southernmost point and get a picture taken. I think I forgot to mention something about Key West. There's beaches down there, and all the beach sand does not come from Key West. Key West has no natural occurring sand. All that beach sand is actually barged over from the Bahamas. So, what do I like about Key West? I like everything. I like the the restaurants that you go to, they have the live music going on just about every restaurant you go to. The beaches down there are nice. The fishing in Key West, of course, is fantastic. The shops are nice, and all the little museums and sightseeing places down there, it's all good. So I was wondering if anybody out there has ever been to Key West, been fishing, been sightseeing, been camping, just maybe stopped in there on a cruise ship, because cruise ships do stop in Key West. Have you ever been on a cruise ship and stopped in Key West? Because there was one there when we were there, pulled in. So give me your thoughts on Key West if you've ever been there. Let us know what you liked about Key West. Take care. A fishing machine. Why you gotta sit there and play with the fish for? Dave, you could get yours in out of the way.